Before I decided I didn't care about making money on it, I actually wanted filmmaking to be my career. Gosh, I hate both of those words. Filmmaking and career. Filmmaker has just become kind of a snobby title that anyone with an iPhone can claim. And career is what people start saying once they've decided their job is their entire identity. My dad always says that Charles Ingalls from Little House on the Prairie is his hero. In the books and the show, the family farm dries up, and what does Charles do? He just heads into town to get a job at the general store. He's not worried about a career. He just does what he has to do to provide for his family. Be like Charles. Do your job, but prioritize your life outside of that. But I'm getting away from my point. I realized that filming weddings, graduations, and recitals was soul-sucking, and my passion for making videos had become a chore. That's when I decided to just do it for fun on YouTube. After I had been doing YouTube for a while, a friend asked me if I wanted to be a part of a crew for a short film that a guy he knew was making. It would only be about 8 hours, I would just have to hold a boom mic, and I would be well paid. Maybe working on someone else's project wouldn't be too bad, I thought to myself, so I agreed. But this would be an experience that would end up turning me away from the film industry for good. And by the way, these shoots never end up being only 8 hours. They're usually closer to 20, and by the time they're over, you curse the day you were born. It's always so overcomplicated. Here on Ian's Ideas, we usually get stuff done in about one take. Granted, that's because we like the cheap homemade feel, but I feel like even on the most professional sets, 10 takes or more is still overkill. The movie I'm talking about is 2020's 12-minute short entitled The Wolf Delivers. You can watch it on YouTube, but please, if you have any respect for yourself, don't. Just watch this video of me making fun of it. But if you don't have any respect for yourself, go ahead and watch it. A guy walks out of a house, counts some stacks of money, and gets in his car. This is the Wolf, and he's played by MJ Wolf. He's a pretty prolific actor in commercials. He's also gotten some small roles in big movies and TV shows, including The Aviator, Collateral, and General Hospital. And on top of that, he was a lovely person to work with. Very kind and down to earth. In addition to starring in this short, he wrote it and was supposed to direct it. However, the producer stepped in and strong-armed the whole movie and took over the directing role. He also stepped in and took over the editing role from the editor. I was going to go scorched earth on this dude, but then I decided it would be better to not even speak his name. Getting back to the movie. The Wolf receives a text with an address and drives off. We now get a super cliche drone shot of his brand new Jeep driving down the highway. A brand new Jeep? This was shot in 2020. I bet he's had to replace the engine like 4 times already. Also, what is that font? They might as well have used papyrus. So the Wolf arrives at the address and grabs a pizza from the back of his Jeep.
Sorry, no, I didn't order any pizza.
Well, maybe your husband did. Says here delivery from Mike.
Yeah, Mike's my husband, but he's not gonna be home for another hour.
Let me in.
The main actress here is Shailene Hilton. She's actually had her career take off quite a bit since this came out. Mostly online, but she's been in some bigger shows like Winning Time and Bel Air. She was also very kind and humble and easy to work with. What is this song? They just took this from a royalty-free website, didn't they? Anyways, Mike gets home and notices the Jeep in his driveway. I feel like this is just a long Jeep commercial.
Is your car too reliable?
I used to just drive a regular sedan, but I was only going to the mechanic for repairs a couple times every year. Now that I drive a Jeep, I'm spending all my life savings on repairs. I'm there all the time. It's the best.
Do you want people to finally notice you?
I wanted other drivers to think I'm tough, but I didn't want them to know how insecure I am. So instead of a Dodge Ram, I went with a Jeep. Now everyone knows I'm masculine.
Remember, when you're behind the wheel of a Jeep, no one else matters.
Back in the day, I used to park like a normal person. But now that I own a Jeep, I back into every parking space. Crowded parking lot with a line of cars behind me? I don't care.
Rule the road and ruin everyone else's lives. Buy a Jeep. Everything in this commercial also applies to Audi claims.
Well, I've never had a real personality, so I bought a Jeep. Now I'm the life of the party.
Dude, you're just gonna park like that? I know there's a mysterious car in your driveway, but at least get off the sidewalk. Andrew Ray Goza plays Mike, and this guy was awesome. Super funny, and yet another person that was really easy to work with. His career hasn't totally taken off yet, but he has had a role on the Netflix original series Pulse. I think this guy deserves some great roles in the future. Mike walks in looking for his wife.
Hello, Amy.
And he sees her tied up at the kitchen table.
Hey, welcome home, Mikey.
That shot is so funny to me because the director was adamant that we needed a close-up, slow-mo shot of the flowers hitting the floor. It took like an hour, too. All for something that looks like it was ripped directly out of an early 2000s alternative rock music video. After some confusion, it is revealed that the wolf is an illegal bookie and he's here to collect Mike's gambling debt.
Sports betting.
Yeah, you know, the $76,912 you currently owe.
Mike claims that he has no knowledge of this, but that only makes the wolf angry, so he starts terrorizing the couple.
Don't lie to me. I hate being lied to.
He asks where their glasses are.
All this pizza's making me thirsty. You mind? Where are your glasses?
Behind you. Second shelf.
And it leads to this stupid line.
Second shelf, bottom shelf, and this whiskey is top shelf.
Oh, I bet they were super proud of that one. He shoves Amy's face in the pizza and threatens to torture her unless Mike gets him the money. And just as it seems like things are about to get worse, his phone dings.
What's your last name, Michael?
Chapin.
This is a bit unfortunate. Appears you were right, Mike. I do have the wrong house. And the wrong Mike. You folks have a lovely house.
That's the big twist, that Mike is a common name. So the wolf heads to the correct address and finds the correct Mike.
We didn't order a pizza. You obviously have the wrong house.
Is this Mike's house?
Yes?
Mike Weir?
Yes?
Ooh, pizza.
Now, you guys know I'm not a critic, but I'm just going to say it. This movie sucks. Maybe if someone else would have taken up the directing and editing, it could have at least been watchable, but we'll never know. And look, this whole dog-eat-dog mentality is rampant in the film industry, and that's why I want nothing to do with it. In fact, the same thing happened to me on the first short film I wrote, but that's perhaps a story for another time. My name is Mike.
My name is also Mike.
Mike is my name as well.
What in the name of John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt is going on here?